What happens when the simple beauty of a traditional Dogtrot home meets the practical charm of greenhouse design? The result can be a home that feels deeply connected to the landscape while still offering practical spaces for modern everyday living. A Dogtrot house is historically recognized by its open central passage, separating two enclosed sections of the house, creating a shaded breezeway between living spaces. The central passage was not simply decorative because its open design could help promote airflow through the house in warm climates. Adding a greenhouse introduces an entirely different relationship with sunlight, plants, humidity, and seasonal temperature changes. The most recognizable feature of the Dogtrot home remains the open passage positioned between its two main sections. In a modern interpretation, this breezeway can become an outdoor room rather than merely a circulation path. A long farmhouse table can occupy one side of the passage, creating an informal location for outdoor meals and gatherings. Comfortable, weather-resistant seating can make the breezeway useful during mild spring, summer, and fall weather. Ceiling fans can improve comfort, although they should be treated as supplemental airflow rather than a replacement for thoughtful, passive design. The greenhouse is where the design becomes particularly interesting because it introduces controlled growing space directly beside the home. An attached greenhouse can provide convenient access to herbs, seedlings, flowers, and selected vegetables without requiring a separate building far from the kitchen. However, a greenhouse should not automatically be treated as an extension of the home's conditioned interior. Greenhouses can experience significant temperature swings, especially when sunlight rapidly heats the enclosed space during the day. For that reason, ventilation, shading, drainage, and moisture management deserve careful attention during planning. A well-designed greenhouse should also have a reliable drainage strategy, so irrigation water does not collect against the home's foundation. One of the strongest reasons to combine these concepts is the relationship between the greenhouse and kitchen. A kitchen positioned near the greenhouse can make harvesting fresh herbs and vegetables part of the daily routine. A practical mudroom or garden entry can serve as a transition zone between outdoor growing areas and cleaner interior spaces. This space can include durable flooring that is easier to clean after gardening activities. A deep utility sink can also be useful for washing gardening tools, muddy boots, harvested vegetables, and flower containers. The design should keep wet and dirty activities concentrated in this transition area instead of allowing them to spread throughout the main living spaces. One enclosed side of the Dogtrot can become the main living room, combining traditional architectural character with contemporary comfort. Exposed beams can reinforce the historic-inspired character while maintaining a warm and welcoming atmosphere. A stone or brick fireplace can connect the interior to the natural materials used outdoors. Large windows facing the garden can visually connect the living room to the greenhouse and surrounding landscape. The goal is not to fill the room with excessive rustic decorations, but to let the architecture and materials create most of the visual interest. The second enclosed section can provide bedrooms that remain visually connected to the outdoor environment without sacrificing privacy. Bedroom windows should be positioned carefully to provide useful daylight while considering privacy and solar exposure. Natural textiles and warm wood tones can make the bedroom feel consistent with the home's countryside character. For a modern home, a private bathroom can be incorporated into the bedroom wing while maintaining the overall traditional aesthetic. The bathroom should also be designed with appropriate waterproofing and ventilation because the greenhouse nearby may increase the temptation to use large amounts of natural moisture-based landscaping. Inside the greenhouse, organization becomes just as important as appearance. Raised beds can make planting and maintenance easier while giving the greenhouse a structured visual rhythm. Shelving can provide valuable vertical growing and storage space for seedlings, pots, and smaller plants. A central pathway should remain wide enough for comfortable movement and routine maintenance. Automatic or manual roof vents can help release accumulated heat when conditions become too warm. Shade cloth or exterior shading can be considered where intense solar exposure creates excessive heat for the intended plants. The exterior materials should visually connect the greenhouse to the Dogtrot rather than making the addition feel like a separate project. Wood siding is an obvious choice for maintaining the traditional southern farmhouse character. Brick can be introduced around foundations, chimneys, pathways, or selected architectural details to add visual weight and durability. Natural stone can create a grounded appearance around outdoor steps, retaining walls, and garden paths. The greenhouse framing can use wood when a warmer traditional appearance is desired, although metal framing may provide a more contemporary expression.